Alright, so looking at our momentum practice number 1, practice 1 number 1, we have this equation in which it wants to know the magnitude of the impulse. Okay, so what we're looking at is impulse right there, magnitude of impulse. So looking at your equations, you should note to find impulse, we are going to say that the impulse is equal to your change in your momentum So the first thing we need to look at is we write down the things that we know. So I know that I have a mass of 0.45 kilograms. 0.45 kilograms. And I have a velocity, initial velocity, of 22 meters per second. And this is my first mass. It wants to know the football. It says the football comes to rest, so that's my final velocity. My final velocity is 0 meters per second. Okay. And then we go in to find our impulse. Okay. We don't need to know a time or a force. We just know the value of this impulse is going to be whatever PF minus PI is going to be. So if you remember back to your momentum equation, momentum is mass times velocity. So in this case, our PF is equal to our mass times our final velocity. And our PI will be equal to our mass times our initial velocity. So we find that the impulse will be a mass of 0.45 times a final velocity of 0 minus a mass of 0.45 times a velocity of 22. Of course, we solved that this is 0, and then that means your 0 minus this this portion of it will give you a negative answer. So when you plug that into your calculator, you should get 0 minus 9.9 Newton seconds. When you subtract the 2, you get negative 9.9 Newton seconds. That means that to bring this object to a stop, a force was applied in the opposite direction, so it changed its momentum. Its momentum went from going one way to the other way within a few moments, and that means that it had a change of a momentum or an impulse of negative 9.9 Newton seconds.